Hey, what's going on, folks? In this video, let's talk about rare error coins to look for in your pocket change. Now, some of these on this list are a lot harder to find than others, but over the years, all of them have been found in pocket change. Let's start off with quarter errors. On the good old Washington quarter we all know, it started appearing in circulation in 1932. One of the most common errors to look for is a double die on a 1997 Washington quarter. There's actually several errors on Washington quarters, so I'll talk about a couple others in a moment. Quarters with double dies, or showing doubling on some parts of their design, can be worth over $100, depending on the condition. Another error that can be found on 1997 quarters is no ridges found on the edge of the coin. And these can be a wide range of values, but somewhere in the $30 to $80 range. Some even more in the hundreds of dollars if they're graded really high. There's also off-center strikes that are also really common to find on 1997 quarters. Some of these are missing parts of the design because of a misalignment between the die and the planchet during mintage. Now, depending on how off the design is, these can be worth hundreds of dollars. Although not an error, silver proof coins from 1997, which came out of the San Francisco Mint, are really rare with less than 75,000 of them made, so they're a great coin to pick up if you ever come across one for a decent price. The 2015 Homestead quarter also has quite a few errors on it that you can look for. They produced these quarters as part of the America the Beautiful quarter series, which ran from 2010 to 2021 and honored different states on the reverse side of each coin. Like I said, there's several errors that are found in the series in general, but the Homestead quarter errors are probably the most notable, and many of them have been found. Now, there's over 100 different 2015 quarter errors, and all of them came out of the Philadelphia Mint. Most of these errors involve double dies, but more so in doubling of the image of the pump in the monument's windows. This is known as the reflected pump error and is one of the most valuable ones to find on this coin. There was also coins that had a small deposit of metal on the roof of the house, which is known as the snow error. Some of these coins can range between $50 and $100, reaching hundreds of dollars if they come back graded really well. When it comes to penny errors, everybody knows about the 1955 double die penny. But the 1981 penny is also a great one to look for, which is known to have many off-center strikes, which gives to the coin's value, which increases depending on how much of the design is cut off or how off-center the strike is. The most valuable examples have very little of the design left on the coin and are extremely off-center, ranging in thousands of dollars. There's also double die errors, where the image generally appears to be a little bit thicker on one side. There's also broken die errors or die crack errors, which creates a coin with an uneven surface. You typically can notice visible lines in the coin's design or an abnormal ridge-like line on its surface. There's also repunch mint marks. This error causes your penny's mint mark to look kind of fuzzy, or you may even notice two mint marks next to one another or slightly overlapping one another. There's also another known error, which is on 1983 pennies, which are missing the mint mark entirely. The Philadelphia Mint didn't include mint marks on the 1981 pennies, but if you find an 83 penny without a mint mark, some of these can be worth in upwards of $5,000 or $6,000. Some really good nickel errors to look for can be found on a wide range of nickels. Let's start with 1936D Buffalo nickels, which of course are not going to be in your pocket change really, but you can find Buffalo nickels at your local coin or gold shop. The one here in town has a bucket of them that you can kind of cherry pick through, and sometimes you can find really good stuff. 1936 Buffalo nickel errors are really rare, and some of which are worth well over $10,000. The most notable is where one of the bison's legs is cut off due to an off-center die error. 1939 doubled Monticello nickels are also a really good error to look for. This is a really old nickel, but despite that, it still has a similar reverse design to many nickels you'll find in pocket change now. And on these 1939 nickels, there's a known error called a double strike, where it is most prevalently seen on the word Monticello, which is typically seen doubled on itself. Some of these can be worth hundreds of dollars, depending on how thick the doubling is, and upwards of $10,000 or $15,000. There's also a bunch of dime errors to look for, such as the 1964 D Roosevelt dime, which has a wide range of errors from double strikes to off-center strikes, as well as clip planchets. Some of these can be worth anywhere from as low as $10 or $12 and upwards to $100 to $200, and some really high-graded examples are known to fetch as much as a few $1,000s in auction. The 1982 P Roosevelt dime is also a really good one to look for, since there's known errors on that as well. One of the primary ones is a missing mint mark, which experts estimate around 15,000 of those have made it out into circulation. These can go for an upwards of $500 or more, depending on their condition. And although they're getting a little more rare to come across, and generally you have to ask for them from the bank, coin roll hunting half dollars is always really fun, and there's some known errors on Kennedy halves. The 1964 Kennedy half has an accented hair error. The 1974 D double die obverse Kennedy half dollar is a really well-known error, and one that's great to look for when you're looking through these coins. These errors can feature a D mint mark just below Kennedy's head, indicating that they came from the Denver Mint. The doubling on these coins is really easy to see on the word trust, especially in the letter R, and on the right tip of the 4 in the date. These can be worth over $100 depending on their condition, so they're a really great coin to look for. Now, the value of most error coins is going to go directly to what type of error it is and how extreme the error is, like off-center strikes and doubling. As we've seen with really famous error coins like the 1955 Lincoln cent, the more dramatic the doubling is, the more expensive the coin can be. Now, there's many modern coins. I made a video maybe a month or two ago, so you can check my video lists on my channel for that video that covers a bunch of really newer coins, a bunch of pennies and nickels and such that are from 1980 to newer, that come up in pocket change regularly that you might be able to find errors on. Like I said in the beginning of this video, some of these coins are harder to find than others, but man, looking through your pocket change is so much fun, and some of these might pop up and might be worth hundreds of dollars for you, so I thought you might enjoy the video. Make sure to hit subscribe if you enjoyed, and make sure to let me know what you've come across lately in your coin, banknote, and collectible searches in the comments. I love reading about that, so I'll jump down there and meet you there, and I'll see you in the next video.